Have you ever found yourself stuck in traffic, feeling frustrated, and wondering why the roads weren't designed better to handle all the cars? Well, you're not alone. Traffic is a common issue that affects people all around the world. And believe it or not, there is a whole field of engineering that focuses on designing our roads so we can use it better, while also considering traffic. In this video, we're going to learn about traffic and transportation engineering to understand why traffic happens, why it's getting worse, and what engineers do to try to manage traffic for all of us. First, let's talk about why traffic exists. Imagine you're pouring a large jug of water into a small bottle. What happens? The water overflows, right? Well, traffic works in a similar way. When too many cars try to use a road that can only handle a certain number of vehicles at a time, it causes congestion, which we call traffic. So, why does it seem like traffic is getting worse everywhere we go? Well, there are a few main reasons. One reason is that there are just too many cars out there. Cities are growing overall, which means more people. And since more people own cars, more people also means more cars on the road. Another reason is that when many of the roads were first built, there were fewer people using them. So the roads weren't made to handle all the cars and traffic we have today. Plus, we love our cars. Many of us prefer driving over taking public transportation, which adds even more cars to the roads. Unfortunately, other things like accidents, roadwork, and bad weather can also cause traffic to back up. So, nowadays there are people called transportation engineers who study our travel systems to see how they can be improved. They look at roads, highways, traffic lights, and more to figure out how to move cars more efficiently and safely. They use a mix of science, math, and creativity to solve traffic problems and make our journeys smoother. These same strategies are also used to design new roads. One of the key tools transportation engineers use is something called a traffic study. The first step of this type of study is something called traffic counting. And it is exactly what it sounds like. Engineers count the number of vehicles that drive on a road over a set amount of time. They use tools like pneumatic road traffic counters, which are rubber tubes laid across the road that count each time a car passes over them. Another step in a traffic study is speed monitoring. Engineers measure how fast cars are traveling. They might use radar guns, like the ones police use to catch speeding drivers. And lastly, engineers watch traffic patterns by looking at how traffic moves at different times of the day. They note peak hours when traffic is heaviest, which is usually during the morning and evening rush hours, as people are traveling to and from work or school. So, what do engineers do with the information they collect during the traffic studies? Well, first of all, it helps them design new roads or make changes to the old ones. For example, the number of lanes a road has is an important part of road design. More lanes can help move more cars, reducing traffic jams. But adding lanes isn't always possible, especially in crowded cities or bridges that cross rivers. So, engineers must calculate the right number of lanes needed for a road based on traffic studies, while also considering the space that is available. And that's why some roads have more lanes than others. Now, let's look at what types of calculations engineers do to figure out their designs. First, engineers calculate the traffic volume, which is the number of cars that pass a point on the road during a certain time period. Then, they calculate the capacity of a road, which is the maximum number of vehicles that a road can handle efficiently. If the traffic volume is more than the capacity, it can lead to congestion and traffic. Speed limits and traffic flow are other important factors when designing a road. If everyone drives at a similar speed, then there is less traffic. But if some cars are going much faster or slower than others, it can cause disruptions. Think about when you see a car that is weaving through traffic so that they can get through the traffic faster than everyone else. That can also cause traffic because it makes people slow down to prevent an accident. So, engineers study how speed limits affect traffic flow, and then they calculate the speed limit that keeps everyone moving safely. The calculation behind figuring out the best speed limits involves a couple of things. First, there is something called the 85th percentile speed. This is the speed at or below which 85% of the traffic is moving. This helps them figure out a safe and reasonable speed limit. Also, the road type makes a difference in deciding the best speed limit. Different types of roads, like residential streets and highways, have different ideal speed limits based on their design and what they will be used for. In addition to all this, engineers use traffic lights to help control traffic. You might have wondered how traffic lights know when to change. Well, it's not magic, it's transportation engineering. Traffic lights are carefully timed to control the flow of cars at intersections. Engineers use data from traffic studies to figure out the best timing for the lights. This helps limit the number of cars entering an intersection at the same time, which reduces the chance of traffic jams. So, how exactly do they set the times for the traffic lights? Well, there are a few different things they have to consider. The first thing is the cycle length. This is the total time that a traffic light takes to go through all its phases, the red, yellow, and green lights. The best cycle length to keep traffic moving can be calculated. Another thing that needs to be considered is something called the green time. This is the amount of time a light stays green. Engineers can adjust this based on traffic volume and flow. Lastly, there is a lot of coordination that needs to happen between neighboring areas and the surrounding traffic lights. For example, traffic lights on a busy road can be synchronized to create something called a green wave, which allows cars to pass through multiple lights without stopping. There are also other tools that engineers have been using more to help with traffic flow. One of them is smart traffic lights. These lights can self-adjust their timing based on real-time traffic conditions. The lights use sensors to detect how many cars are waiting and then change the lights as needed. Also, circular intersections, called roundabouts, help to keep cars moving instead of stopping them with a traffic light or stop signs. And high-occupancy vehicle or HOV lanes have also been added on freeways. These special lanes are for cars with multiple passengers. This encourages people to carpool, which reduces the number of cars on the road. After learning about all these options to improve traffic, you might be thinking, why don't we just build more roads or make our existing ones bigger? Well, it's not that simple. Building new roads or widening our old ones takes time, money, and space. And all of these things are usually very limited, especially in big cities. Plus, adding more roads can sometimes lead to more traffic in the long run, a phenomenon known as induced demand. This happens when more roads make driving more convenient, encouraging even more people to drive. So, how do we solve traffic? Well, an important part of the solution is public transportation. Buses, trains, and subways can move a lot more people than cars can, which helps reduce the number of cars on the road. Transportation engineers are always working to design better public transportation systems. City developers are also working to make cities more friendly for people who walk and ride bikes. They do this by adding more safe paths for walking and biking to encourage people to leave their cars at home. The point is to give people easy and attractive alternatives to driving. So, what does the future look like for transportation engineering? Well, transportation engineers are exploring exciting new technologies to solve traffic problems. One cool thing that they are working on is self-driving cars. These cars can communicate with each other to avoid traffic jams and accidents. This could make our roads much safer and more efficient. Another thing is the creation of smart cities. Some cities are already starting to use smart technology to manage traffic better. This includes things like sensors and cameras to monitor traffic in real time, so that adjustments to the whole traffic system, like lights and road signs, can be made automatically as needed. So, next time you're stuck in traffic, remember that a lot of science and planning are being used to make things better. Transportation engineers are studying traffic to design better roads and find new ways to keep us all moving. And while we might not be able to get rid of traffic completely, with smart engineering and a little help from everyone, we can make it a lot better. Thanks for watching. We hope you enjoy learning about transportation engineering and how it helps manage traffic. Be sure to check out our other videos and look out for more to come as we explore other fun engineering topics. And remember to like and subscribe to our channel because engineering is for everyone.